Drive on Mama, buckle up. Andrea TV here from driveonmama.com, and you want to know how many contract violations can you get before DoorDash deactivates you? How many contract violations DoorDash allows? And it really depends on the type of contract violation. There is no set number listed on their website of what number will get you terminated or deactivated, rather, because you're not an employee. But I do know from people's videos, the one that will get you done with one of those violations is when you make a customer feel unsafe or you make a merchant feel unsafe, when you are behaving in a manner that is threatening, aggressive, and puts people off and makes them want to call the police. I have been in a store, a Peruvian restaurant, where the cops were called on a dasher because his order wasn't ready and he was getting upset, and they felt threatened. So that one, it only takes one and you're gone. You won't even be able to see that, oh, I have a contract violation, because they will let you know you're deactivated and that's it. But for latenesses, one is not going to get you deactivated. Multiple will. It doesn't say the number. I have seen screenshots where people have had 4 or 5 contract violations at one time and still working. So it really depends on the type of contract violation it is. And remember, after you complete 100 deliveries, that violation will fall off, and you should be submitting an appeal for everyone. I have had a few contract violations in my time, and sometimes they are overturned depending on why you were late or why the order never arrived. And just to cover yourself, if there's any situation where you can't deliver the food after you have received it, like I had transmission problems. One time I picked up an order, 2 orders from Cheesecake Factory, and then I couldn't deliver. I called them right away and I told them what happened. Now, if I didn't call them and I just called AAA or somebody to come help me and just went about my business, that would be 2 orders never arrived. Those are contract violations as well. So there is no set number that they list on their website, but one is not going to do it unless it is that one where you are causing an unsafe environment for the customer and or the merchant. Now we have our first order for the day. It's a $2.50 peak pay up until $11.29. It is now $10.47. We are picking up 10 salads and delivering across the street for $9.25. And that first lunch order went up to $20.25. Thank you, Mr. or Miss Customer. And we went back to the avenue. We had to circle the block because it is a lot of dashers out, because it's a full-time dasher market I'm in. Plus, it's the $2.50 peak pay. But we did get our next order before we could find a park. $9.25 for 1.1 miles. Another large order. Let's go. And that last order was also a banger. I think the final payout was $25. They tipped $20 or $25.50 or $25.25. Either way, we're grateful. And it's $11.26, and I don't know if you've noticed it, but when there is a peak pay, that last 5 minutes, you almost never get an order, or it's an order you don't want. I ended that dash, and then I accepted or declined 2 offers / 3 orders. It was a batched order, $31.50, going 8 miles and change, and that 8 miles is going into All City, and it is about a 35-minute drive just for one of the drop-offs, so I declined it. And then they sent one for $8.25, only going 1.1 miles, but to a bakery that is most bakeries are very crowded today, and it was not going to go up because right now, until the peak pay is over, $9.25 is the hidden tip indicator in my market. So I declined that one. And yes, $11.26, and I'm not going to get anything, I'm sure, until $11.31. When they start releasing the orders again. And all of the dashers are sitting, and that's why I'm circling the block. We'll see what we get when we get back. 11:38 a.m. We had, at 11:33, we received one we had to decline, $13.25 for 5 miles about. And that was not going to go up based on the way the order looked, and it was going far. Then we declined one for whatever the amount you see, going even further away. And that wasn't going to go up. And we have the next one that we're going to accept. And we didn't decline them. Let me correct it, because I'm at 71%. I'm not dropping below 70%. I accepted them and then unassigned them. Almost every time I unassign, it's on purpose. And say what you want in the comments. I play the game as best as to leave my pockets as fat as they can be. So our next one is a high pay order, and it's going to go up. We're going to go get 2 dozen donuts and deliver. When I tell you DoorDash is a slick one, we have that order dropped off. It was going to a school, but they came out within 2 minutes. It was handed to me, and I waited about 20 seconds. I was like, oh no, it's no large orders here. Let me hit pause. Went to pause my dash, and they send me a batched order. 1 offer, 2 orders. If I declined it, I would go back down to 70%. I took it because it is only 1 mile in total, but when I accepted it, the screen that showed after showed I was at 34 minutes and change on my paused dash that they ignored. I don't like that, but we're gonna go get some Soul Spice and some, just to give you an idea of why I don't want to dash here, construction and no parking and tickets and not big tips. All 3. Those orders were dropped off successfully to a school, and one wasn't handed to me, the other one was not, but I have delivered to that school many times. You leave it on the shelf for the food. They don't want you standing there. Took a picture, send it in the app, and we're back on the Avenue 1223. And we have our next order. $6.75 for 1 mile. We're picking up 2 salads, and let's go get it. That order is dropped off, and it went up to $8.25, and there is a method to my madness. I know some people were saying, I didn't have a screenshot of it because I knew I wasn't going to take it, the order for $31.50 and 8 miles. That would have led me out of the zone, and I probably wouldn't have got back to the area until maybe 12:45 or 1 o'clock. It is 12:35 right now. We're sitting at $28.84 on this dash after we had the first 2 large orders, and our next order is a large order, $6.75, 8 items, going less than a mile. Most of the time when you go out of your network market, it's costing you money. So unless you really, it's very slow, or you're all right with the 35-minute drive back with no orders at all, I don't take those. Let's go get the, and it was handed to me. This is their elevator bank. It's the pyramids, and you can't see it much, but it moves and it changes as well. So that went up to 17 and change. Thank you, Mr. Customer. And then immediately after, we got our next order, $8 for 1.6 miles, and it said it was going up. Let's hope it's ready. Okay, that last order went up to $9. Thank you, Mr. Customer. And we have our last order for this lunch shift. It is about $1.20, and it is for $9, going 3.8 miles. It is not going to go up, and that's fine by us. It is for a spicy tuna sandwich with pesto. And just like that, the lunch shift is over. We made a total of $110 and change over 3 different dashes. We declined some, we kept some, and we're grateful. And as always, I wish you large tips, no waits, and short distances. And drive on, mama.